All right, welcome to the sessions. Today we are going to talk about the test creator software called Respondus, and it is a third-party software that Penn State has access to. Penn State has a subscription to use, and it's only available to faculty and staff. And I'm just gonna start the session, then everything is gonna be recorded, and then we will share the recording later. And I hope you can, hopefully you can see the screen. I'm just gonna make sure that you can see the screen. And all right, so the first thing first is just a little bit of introduction. My name is Jilapan Singh. I'm instructional designer in the Department of Public Health Science in Penn State College of Medicine, and my contact information is right here on the screen. And if you have any questions about regarding the use of Respondus, how to use Respondus, or some technical issues with Respondus, feel free to contact me. The objective for today that we are going to cover is going to be four main topics about the Respondus. The first is going to be, we're going to talk about the download and install procedure for the Respondus at Penn State. And second one is going to talk about how to create Respondus, because Respondus is a software exam creation software. So how we can create different type of questions within a Respondus software. And the third one is going to be how to connect Respondus to your Canvas accounts, allowing you to communicate or send questions from Respondus to Canvas, your Canvas courses. And also we're going to describe it. We're going to show you the process of importing questions to your Respondus. Sometimes it may be difficult to create questions one at a time. So importing questions from Microsoft Word format might be an easier way or quickest way to add questions to your Respondus, and then you can deploy that into your Canvas courses too. So the first thing first is just going to be we're going to get started by looking into the way that the presentation, the seminar is going to work. That I'm planning to do is I'm going to run through a quick information about each of these process using the screenshots quickly. And then I'm going to spend maybe 15 minutes talking about the process, showing you screenshots. And then I'm going to get into the actual demo, where I'm going to show you my screen and then show you how to do that in the live simulation using my screen. So the first is going to be talking about how to download and install Respondus software on your computer. So the Respondus, as I mentioned earlier, Respondus is an exam management software. It allows you to create your questions and exam locally on your computer using this software, and then you can publish it different ways. You can publish it as a printout, as paper, or you can publish it to different learning management systems. In this case, for Penn State, it would be Canvas. And as I mentioned, Penn State has a subscription to Canvas and has a license to the Respondus. So it's only available to faculty and staff, meaning that faculty and staff can download this software and install on your own personal computer or your office desktop. And because it's a software, so it has to run on the computer. It's not an iPad, it's not a mobile device software. This is the software has to be on the computer. Unfortunately, that Respondus is only available on Windows PC computers only. So if you're using Mac computer or Apple or Macintosh, you're not going to be able to run this Respondus. The only way that you can run Respondus is to use a virtual machine and then run your Windows operating system inside that virtual machine. In this case, that's what I'm doing because I'm using a Mac laptop computer. And the way that the software works is that Respondus act as a machine software that allows instructor to create exams, and then you can you can publish it into a paper exam, you can publish it to electronic exam, going to a learning management system. One of the things that I forget to mention earlier is that the publisher questions. Respondus also has contract with some of the publishers and some of the textbooks that allows you to search for the questions from textbook that you can pull it into Respondus, and then you can utilize those questions from a publisher. But again, that's still going to be very, very limited. It's not all the textbook would have that options for Respondus. But again, Respondus has a way for you to search to see what's available, what's not available. Now, to download the Respondus from Penn State, you can go to the website downloads.its.psu.edu. Respondus is going to be available under technical application category, and then you see Respondus, and then as you can see that it's only available for Windows only. Once you go to that Respondus website, it will give you information of download link and then also license number, and which I'm not going to show it to this recorded session here. Now, the second topic that we're going to go over is just how to create questions within Respondus software. We're going to go through some how to create questions and how to add a different type of questions that you can do within the Respondus, how to save and manage tests, and how to print out the test as a hard copy or paper test in the classroom. So this is what the Respondus software would look like when you first open it up, and you will be in the Start tab. Within the Start tab, you can choose to open existing exams that you create or existing test bank that you created in Respondus, or you can create a new test bank Respondus file in the Respondus. Once you create an exam Respondus files, you can continue to add multiple exams inside that Respondus files. As you can see that there's a different type of questions you can create within Respondus, and that's going to be one questions at a time basis. So you can choose the type of questions that you wanted to create, add the information, and then once you added questions to the Respondus file, you will see that at the bottom it will show all the questions that you have within the Respondus file. Treat that Respondus file as a question bank, test bank that you have. Now, once you have all the test bank or question bank created, you can publish or print it out. In the Publish tab location, you have options of previewing your questions and also publish to Canvas and also print it out as a paper-based exams. So you have a different type of printout. You can print just exam, meaning just a questions only. You can print exam that has an answer key at the end. You can also just print answer key only if you wish to. There's a different setting that you can do here. The third topics we're going to go over is we're going to demonstrate later is going to be about how to import questions into Respondus. As you can see the process earlier, that when you're creating questions in Respondus software, you are actually doing it one by one question at a time, adding a different information. Sometimes if you already have questions already created in Microsoft Word, you may want to reformat the questions in a way that it would be can be imported into Respondus, and we're going to go over how you can do that. And I will share with you some one example. I will share with you the outline of the presentation where you can download the copy of example of questions format in Respondus. So now, the way that it works is to import questions in Respondus. You can import two different ways. One is to use a test bank network. If you remember that I mentioned that publisher also has test bank available for if you're using their textbook in your class, but there's still going to be limited textbooks available. You can use a test bank network to search for the textbook that you're using in the class and see if there may be question bank available for you to just download directly or import directly into Respondus. Or you can import questions using text file. In this case, that's what we are going to focus in this presentation. Import questions using Microsoft Word file. This is the example of the file format that allows you to import multiple questions at a time. As you can see that I'm going to focus closely to the questions. This is a one question example, multiple choice. As you can see that the simple format would be that you have a question title and then you have multiple choice to select. You put asterisk sign in front of the correct answer. That is how Respondus is going to know which one is going to be a correct answer. And the way it works is that when you go to the import questions screen, it will allow you to select what type of files that you wanted to import. Then you can select files and click preview, and then now you can see all the questions that are available from that Microsoft Word file. Now the last topic is to publish to Canvas. This probably would be the most useful feature for many of instructors or users, that allows you to quickly create questions locally on your computer. Then when you're ready, you can publish into Canvas. If you have created quiz or exams in Canvas, you know how painful that could be, because you have to create one question at a time. And in this way, it allows you to quickly create it locally on your computer. Then when you're ready, you can just publish or push it into your Canvas course. And you can push it into multiple courses at a time too. So there's two-step process. I forgot to mention there's two-step process in order to do that. The first is just one-time process is to connect your Respondus to your Canvas users, and that need to be done one time on your computer. And then once it's connected, you can start pushing the questions or exam from Respondus to Canvas. So to set up the connection server, this is the screen that you could do. We're going to go through the demo quickly to show you how to set that up too. But again, if you have any questions, feel free to contact me, and I may be able to help you set that up. Now, in terms of publishing Canvas questions to Canvas, when you go to Publish tab and select Publish to Canvas, then when you get different options, you can select Publish to a single course. You can publish as a batch, publish to multiple courses. This is very useful when you are teaching multiple sections, same course with multiple sections, and you wanted to use the same exact exam or questions. And then once you import it into the course, you will get a new quiz created in the course. But you can set, normally what I set it up to unpublish. I wanted to publish it on my own. So I just wanted to upload questions there, and then I'll take care of the rest of the making it publish or launching exam within the course. All right, so this is just going to be 4 main topics that we're going to also cover in the I think there's a fire alarm here. We're going to have to pause the recording quickly. All right, here's what we're going to cover today, and we're going to talk about 4 different topics today. It's just download, create, import, and then publish. Now it's time for the demo part. I'm going to switch my screen over to my PC computer. So at the end, I'm going to send you this handout that also I think I'm going to do it right now. I'm going to send it in chat. If you don't receive that, I can also send it to you via email later. I'm going to send you a link to this handout that you can use to go to a specific place, like how to install software, to get a software. You can also use these handouts to download the standard format for importing Respondus, and then you can get some example file, imported file here. All right, so the first demo we're going to show you is to download and install Respondus software. Now I'm going to close this down first, and if you use the handouts, if you have a handouts, you can use the link to go to that. But as I mentioned earlier, what you need to go to downloads.its.psu.edu. downloads.its.psu.edu. Then again, because I'm already logged into Penn State, it's not asking me to log in. If you have not logged in or signed into Penn State, you may be asked to sign in using Penn State Access ID. And Respondus will be available under Technical Applications. If you click on Windows, it would give you information of how to download and then what license number that you need to use after you install the software. I'm not gonna go to that page because I don't want to review that license number. So once you have everything installed, if you have any questions or you have any problem installing on your machines, you can contact help desk, your help desk, or you can reach out to me. I can look at it and then help you with the installation. And once the software is installed, it would be installed using Respondus 4.0 campus-wide name. So now I'm going to open up Respondus. All right. So now once you open, you're going to start out by landing on the first tab, which is a start page. And we're going to cover a little bit quickly about how to create Respondus file and then create questions. So in this case, I'm going to use, let's look at the open first. If I click on open tab, what I'm going to get is I can choose different existing Respondus files that I have already created within this software. But in this case, I'm going to create a new Respondus file. Treat it as exam. If you create one exam, create a new Respondus file. I'm just going to create one called maybe final exam PHP PHS 001. And we say exam, click OK. Okay, type short description. I'm just going to use the same short description here. All right, now once the Respondus files is created, you can see, let me see if I can adjust the screen to make it larger for everybody to see. Let me take quickly. All right, it looks better now. All right, now, so once I create a new Respondus file called final exam PHS 001. Now it's time for me to start adding questions. As if you remember, this is the type of questions that you can select to create. This is the information within the questions, such as question title and then option choices. Below here is a question list. Every time you create a new questions, it will be added here as one question. So you end up having multiple questions within one Respondus file. So if I choose multiple choice and I'm going to create a question title, let's say PSU color. Question wording, what is the color of PSU? And I'm going to give options, red, white, blue, rainbow. And once you put all the options that you wish to have, you can select, number 4 is select correct answer. I can select as a C as a correct answer. You can assign point value to the questions. And you can also add feedback. feedback for specific response to basically, for example, if students answer A, the feedback they will get at the end of the exam would be such and such. So you can type a feedback along with the each options. But I'm just going to leave it out. Then when you have it, you can click insert into a list or add to the end of the list. No, add to the end of the list. All right. So I have one question. The next question, let's say I'm going to do, let's say Hershey Med. The title is just something for you to quickly identify what the question is. It is not the actual questions. So the questions, the actual questions, long questions would be in the number 2. Is PSU, is Hershey Med part of Penn State? And there's true and false. And the answer is true. I'm going to add. Nope, I'm going to add to the end of the list. All right. So now once you start adding questions, if you wanted to go back and edit questions, you can click on this questions menu and select edit. You can delete, you can move it down, move it up, and you can preview it to see what it looks like if you were to print it out or you were to send it to Canvas Learning Management System. I can click on this and preview, true and false. Okay, now you have point value. Now you can continue to add different type of questions here. As you can see, essay questions, matching, fill in the blank, multiple answers, fill in multiple blanks, text, numerous answers. So, but I think most of the questions that you'll be using would be the first 3 here: multiple choice, true and false, and essay questions. So now once you have all the questions created, I'm going to go back and select another one so we could easily see. I'm going to say, here you go. I'm select world history as an example. So this example, I have like 16 different questions, and it's listed right down here under the question list. Now, when I'm ready to publish or when I'm ready to print out as exam files, I can go to preview and publish. Click on preview the file, and I can go through one by one. And now I'm just gonna actually print it. I'm gonna go to print option. Then within the print option, I can select how do I want to print this exam as an exam with answer key. I'm just gonna try exam with answer key. You can go through settings and do a little bit more settings, but we're not gonna spend much time on this. You can investigate later, or we can work on it later. I can click on print preview and see what it looks like. So this is the questions that would have an answer key, meaning that it has that asterisk sign as an answer key. Let's see if I select just exam. So now you can copy this one, and I can copy it to clipboard and open up Microsoft Word. And paste it here and print it out, or you can print it out directly from Respondus using send to printer. If you have printer set up, you can send that to printer and you can get the exam. All right, this is just quickly how to create a new Respondus files, add a questions, and then print it out as a paper. Now, the next thing we're going to go over, if you're going back to, this is going to be we already went through the creating part. The next one is going to be importing questions. And as you can see that the process may be very tedious in terms of creating each questions one at a time. Now we're going to I'm going to show you quickly how you can quickly create questions by using the import features. But in order for you to do that, you need to understand first how to format your exam files or Microsoft Word files or question files into the format that responders will recognize. If you go to the handouts that I have, and you can download that, the standard, the link is called standard format for importing. And if it doesn't work, I may have to fix that link. It looks like the link doesn't work well, but I can show you quickly. And I can go to Respondus, standard formatting. All right. So it has all the different formats that you can do. But again, we're not going to spend a lot of time trying to get to understand each of these formats. If you go through this document, you should be able to figure out different type. But the main thing that I wanted to show you is what's most frequently used is that multiple choice. To set up multiple choice, the format would be that you have a questions title, and you also have to use that numbering tool. So it would be question number 1, question number 2, question number 3. Then when you get to the options within the multiple choice, you can identify the correct answers by using the asterisk. That you can also do it different ways, but this is another way that you could do it. And I'm going to close this one down and show you the example of the file. All right, this is the example of correctly formatted questions for to be imported to responders. As you can see, that has a questions number 1, multiple choice A, B, C, and have asterisk sign in front of A, which meaning that this is the correct answer. Move on to question number 2, and we have an asterisk sign in front of C, meaning that C is the correct answer. Another beauty or benefit of using this import is that you can add pictures into questions, or in this case, you can add like a special character or mathematical characters, and responders will recognize it and then convert that into an image or graphic that allows you to easily and quickly upload it to Canvas. So this is another one. You can also add image into the questions title. Responders will take that picture and create a graphic picture that to be ready to be imported to learning management system. Same thing with the table. You can set up a table, but as long as you follow the formatting of the questions and multiple choice. So as you can see, there's different ways of setting up. But also, if you go through the standard format files of responders, you might be able to see different how you can format the questions for the different type of questions. But mainly I want to show you today is just multiple choices. So once we have this one, so what we do is to import to responders. We're going to open up responders. I'm going to go back to start tab. This time we're not going to open. We're not going to create. We are going to use this import questions. But before we go to import questions, this reminds me that to import questions to responders, you have 2 different options. One is to import from the test bank network, which is from the textbook publisher. The second one is the one that we're going to demonstrate later, is to import questions from the text files. But let me show you quickly about the test bank network. If I click on test bank network here, now what I'm going to get is I'm going to get to search for publisher test bank, register test bank using file code and password. These options may be when you contact your publisher and then they say that, okay, we have test bank for responders, that they may give you files or code to register. Let's search. You can use the search to search for test bank. It will take you to responders page that allows you to search test bank based on the textbook title author. And like I said, this is very limited. I'm not sure if you would have that, but you could try and see if you may be able to find test bank for your textbook. But anyhow, so we're going to go back to Respondus. Now we're going to focus more on importing from Microsoft Word file. We're going to select this option, import questions. And within the import questions screen, the step 1, choose file type. The one that I have here is Microsoft Word.docx. I'm going to close this first to allow me to import. It should docx. But before we do this, I like challenge. What I did create, I create a file that has 99 questions. It's not a new question, it's just the questions that I copy and repeat it over and over to make it into 99 questions. I wanted to see if that import will work with the mass questions like this. So I have repeated questions up to 99 questions. Let's see how that works. I'm going to import that files into Respondus. I'm going to browse, going to Respondus. I create 99 questions import. Open. Now you can choose to add or append the questions into the current Respondus files that you initially created, or you can import it into a new Respondus file. In this case, I'm going to do import it into a new Respondus file. I'm going to say demo 99 questions import. I'm going to call it demo 99 questions import. And I'm going to, third steps is to click preview. The preview button allows you to check to see if there's any error within the questions. And in this case, looks like I have some error that say that 90 questions has duplicate questions title changes by. So that's happened because I copy questions 90 times. So that's why it shows up that way. But we're gonna ignore it because this is just intentional error. Now I can see that I can scroll down this and see I have how many questions imported. Let's scroll down to the end. 99 questions imported. Now when I'm ready, everything looks good to me, I can click finish. And because I already opened world history, it's going to ask me to save change. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and save change. And all right. Now I'm in demo 99 questions import file. And I have 99 questions created. And once I have this created, you can see that some of the questions that contain graphics, it will give you the icon showing that this question has graphic. And let's see what it looks like. I can click on this magnify glass to preview. See, it has a graphic. It's formatted correctly, just like the one in. I'm gonna open up to show that. It formatted correctly, just like the one that is set here. It has graphics, it has there. And let's see the next questions that has table. This one, I think, number 6, is formatted correctly. So you didn't have to create it one at a time within Respondus. So now when I have everything ready, I can proceed on to publish, print it out as a paper exam and with a key answer for myself to use. But the next thing that is important is to import or publish to Canvas, which is going to be the most useful feature within Respondus if you're conducting exam or quizzes within your Canvas. So now once we have that everything created, I'm going to go back to the last step again, which is, so we went over the importing features. Now the last one we're going to cover today, or I'm going to show you the demo, is to publish to Canvas. And now we're going to talk about different ways of publishing to Canvas. I know we are running out of time because we spent time outside during the drill. Now let's see, we're going to import. Before you can import, if you, this is the first time using Respondus, before you can import to Canvas, you would have to set up your connection with Canvas first, because I already have it set up, so I don't have to do it again. But in order for you to import to Canvas, you need to go back to Start first, making sure that you set up your personality Canvas format into Canvas. So whatever you create or import it into Canvas, it will be formatted in the way that Canvas will recognize when you publish it to Canvas. So I'm setting it up to Canvas, and I'm opening up demo 99 questions. Go to preview and publish, click on publish to Canvas. Click publish wizard. Because if this is the first time that you're using it, under step number 2, choose an existing server, you're not going to have these options. You are going to only have add new server, because you never connect to any server. I'm going to show you quickly how to do that. So once you select add new server, it's going to ask you to go through step by step. What I just found was that when I choose the first option, yes, check for the pre-configure server settings. It does not seem to work. It did to me anyway. It did not work to me last night when I was testing this. So I found that I had to use no, I want to enter server setting manually. And I go to next. What it asks you is to obtain Canvas URL. What you could do is when you go to Canvas, I'm going to click on Canvas URL, which is this one. I'm going to copy the URL, go to paste there, and extract it. So once you extract it, it's going to look for the right URL for you automatically. Then you can put a description and say the Canvas connection. And username and password, you would have to use your Penn State Access ID and password. And it will ask you to go through the dual authentication, which you have to use your dual authentication device. I'm not going to go through the whole process because we wanted to show you what the results after the publish. I'm going to select existing Canvas connection that I already have created. But before I upload this one, I wanted to show you first, I'm going to upload to this sandbox here. And just want to show you first, I don't have that here. If I go to quizzes, as you can see that I don't have, not assignment, now quizzes. What I have is only 4 quizzes here: practice, unnamed, and world history. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to upload this demo 99 questions import into my Canvas course. I select publish to single course, but I can publish the same exams into multiple courses using batch publish, but I'm just going to do one today. Publish to single course, select the connection that I set up correctly, click next. It's authentication fail. I'm going to try it again. And I'm going to try to redo that setup. Okay, verse 2. And okay, and click next. Now it asks me to re-authenticate using dual authentication. So I'm going to do it quickly. All right, I did dual authentication. Respondus requesting access, authorize. All right, so now it's passed through the connection phase. You can select to add it as a graded quiz or question bank. In this example, I'm going to do graded quiz, and I'm going to call final competency exam. All right. I'm going to create a new quiz called apply question group, apply settings. I'm not going to select this one because I wanted to import only. Next. Now it's going to ask me to choose a course that I wanted to publish to. I'm going to choose this one. Remember that I said Chulaponte announcing sandbox. I'm going to select that folder and click next. As you can see, the process is giving you details of what's going on right now. Is publishing assessments to server. My finger is across right now, hoping that it's not going to crash on me. Okay, it looks like it went successfully. Published, completed successfully. Click finished. Now what happened? What happened now is if I go back to my Chulaponte announcing sandbox and click on quizzes, I will have a new quiz questions that has 100 questions. I don't know why 100. I have to check later because when we upload it, it has 99 questions. So let's click preview. And remember that it has all that mathematical formula and it's all converted into graphic correctly. So you don't have to do it individually within Canvas. You can do it quickly using Microsoft Word, which is something that you may be more familiar with in terms of formatting the files. And remember, there's pictures, tables, pictures is automatically added, even the diagram that you created within the files. And then now you can do anything you want with these questions that you have in Canvas. You can launch it, you can publish it. In this case, because I just wanted to add it only, so it's not published or it's not deployed to student yet. So if I go to edit, now I can choose what I wanted to do with this exam. I can start do shuffle answers, do time limited, and set up different things, require access, code, assign it to specific students or group of students. So, but again, this is not a focus of this presentation. It's just because we wanted to talk about how to get the questions from Respondus into Canvas. So now we are able to do that. Once it's there, you can use Canvas to deploy any way you want it. That's probably concluded my presentation today. And let me go back to the last part. I'm going to go back to my information. So if you have any questions, contact me. And I'm gonna, right now, I see that we have 2 people. I'm gonna stop the recording for now because this is what we are done with the presentation.